The Four of Wands. Take a deep breath. Place your awareness in the center of your chest. The Four of Wands appears when you are standing on the threshold of something sacred, yet fragile, the very edge of homecoming. This card is the frequency of divine reunion, celebration, the completion of an energetic rite of passage, but not simply outwardly. This is a sacred inner unification, a marriage of fire within. The fours in tarot always root us into the element. And here, fire finds a home. Here, passion becomes sacred. Here, will becomes devotion. The Four of Wands is the inner temple you build through conscious choices, sovereign embodiment, and trust in the divine mirror of another. And so we begin. In the context of the twin flame journey, the Four of Wands often appears when you have crossed a vital threshold of remembrance. The mirror no longer solely exists outside of you. In the form of the other becomes an extension of your internal union, not the source. This is the card of energetic arrival. But that arrival often comes only after death. The death of codependency, the death of chasing, the death of believing that wholeness lives in someone else. If you are receiving this card now, Spirit is asking, where have you forgotten that your home is inside your will? Where have you romanticized the return of another before mastering your own? Have you welcomed the inner masculine to sit at the table of your life again? Because the feminine longs to receive him, not the distorted version that fears failure or needs to control, but the sacred masculine, the force of action, integrity, timing, and protection. And he cannot arrive while you abandon him in yourself. The Four of Wands is often mistaken as the card of external union. But you are the altar, and no one can enter a temple that has not been claimed. This card reflects the need to build a strong inner foundation that can hold joy. Because many of us are so used to suffering, when celebration knocks, we deny it. Joy triggers the unprocessed grief. Safety triggers the wounds of abandonment. And so your shadow work is to make space for the sacred, to build a life that can contain your divine inheritance, to let yourself land. Astrologically, the Four of Wands carries a Venus and Aries frequency. Love meeting fire. Harmony meeting drive. This is the sacred marriage of pleasure and purpose, of beauty and will. When you are out of balance, the energy can become attachment masked as commitment, people pleasing in the name of peace, abdicating your truth to preserve the illusion of unity. But in sovereignty, Venus in Aries teaches, I honor the desires of my heart and act upon them with clarity. I celebrate with those who resonate, not those who tolerate. My life is my altar, and I protect it. This is the essence of cultivated ego, not dominance, not fragility, but devotion to the sacred self. Ego, in its elevated form, says, I exist, and that is holy. When your ego has been transmuted into self-value, you do not need to beg for love. You become a beacon of it. Let's take this deeper. The conflict between love and will often emerges here. Love says, merge, connect, bond. Will says, separate, define, assert. The Four of Wands is the alchemical chamber where those opposites integrate. It does not ask you to choose between them. It asks you to become a being who can hold both. This is the seat of polarity, when the masculine within protects the container and the feminine within fills it with the waters of the divine. This card calls forth sacred discipline, but not rigidity. This is structure that supports your ecstasy, ritual that supports your flow, union that supports your wildness. Shadow work prompts for the Four of Wands. Where do I associate love with suffering and joy with fear? What is my relationship with celebration? Do I feel safe and joy? Where am I waiting for someone to come home to me instead of coming home to myself? Have I created an inner temple that my divine counterpart can enter? These questions will break your illusions. They will rattle the cages of your trauma bonding. They will ask you to become the one who stays, not with the other, but with yourself. Four of Wands is a frequency of celebration, completion, sacred pause. It is the card that says, the gate has opened. Walk through it. But it also whispers, you built this gate yourself. It is a reflection of everything you chose not to abandon, when it would have been easier to numb, to chase, or to blame. This is the gate of energetic union, sacred threshold, integration of will and love, celebration rooted in truth. But in the reversed position, the Four of Wands calls for inner alignment, rebuilding, realigning, and reclaiming. You are layering the foundation because a kingdom built on soul truth becomes eternal. This is your invitation to come home, not to a place, not to a person, but to the self who no longer compromises, the self who integrates love and will, the self who sits on the throne of cultivated ego and says, my desires are divine. My voice is the flame. My joy is the temple. Walk through the gate, not because you need to be saved, but because you finally remember you were always the one building it. Reclaiming your inner temple. You are not alone.